Hello, and welcome to a minisode of My Streaming Bubble. You know, that podcast where I talk about the shows I love with the people I tolerate, usually. I am your TV watching and talking and judgy host, Jen, and today's mini bubble is just going to be a quick review. I know I say that every fucking time, but I'm pretty sure this one's going to be a quick review. I really won't know until I get to the end of this. But the second season of The Last of Us on Max has started. And last year I did an episode by episode watch and review, and which was a lot of fun and terrifying and heartbreaking and like all the feelings. And then I got really mad at the end of the season, but I think we all did. But since I did that for season 1, I thought I'd go ahead and keep that tradition alive like a fungus-filled zombie and do it for season 2. Although it will be episode by episode. This is not going to be a watch and react or react and review. Whatever I thought I was going to change, I don't fucking know anymore. It's not going to be that one. It's just going to be me talking about that first episode. So I will go ahead and get started then. So consider this your spoiler warning for season 2, episode 1, future days of the HBO original series, The Last of Us, based on the video game. Let's see. So real quick, some content warnings, like self-harm, but in like a medical way. Let's see. Stupid homophobia, big gutted dead bear, sassy teen, overprotective dad, again with the weird, gross fungus zombie things. And I don't like them. And I don't like that there's so many different like varieties of them. They're not fucking apples. Like, no, just no. Like, I don't want it. All right. So for the IMDb stuff, because there's always got to be IMDb stuff. So the IMDb synopsis for season 2, episode 1. 5 years after the events in Salt Lake City, a now 19-year-old Ellie makes a discovery while on patrol with her best friend Dina. Back in Jackson Hole, Joel seeks help to mend his relationship with Ellie. And what I says about this episode, I says 5 years later, Joel is suffering from some typical hashtag dad life. And Ellie has to deal with more of the same because some people still don't have enough to do in the fucking future days than to still be a homophobic piece of shit. The more things change, the more they stay the same. All right. It is written and directed by Craig Manzin, and it's based on the video game by Neil Druckmann and Haley Wigren-Gross. It stars Bella Ramsey, Pedro Pascal, Gabrielle Luna, Isabella Merced, Rutina Wesley, and many, many more. And season 2 is only available on Max, although I think you can, like through Fandango, formerly known as Vudu, I think you can like rent or buy the episode, possibly even the season up front. So that's kind of your only options. So yeah. All right. Oh my God. I even have like notes. I took decent notes while I was watching it, and they are in order of how things happened in the episode, but I feel like I'm still going to be all over the fucking board with this one. That's podcast trademark. All right. So previously on The Last of Us, Joel was super cool and then did a not super cool thing and like super duper lied to Ellie. And there's all these super gross fungus zombie things, and there's like a whole bunch of different kinds, and I don't like it. Like there's seems to be like the smart ones now, the one that like attacked Ellie in this episode. See, I'm just jumping right towards the end. And the way she described it as it like hunts. It didn't lunge at her right away. It went around, ducked, and then like attacked from the side. Like, I don't like that. That's not okay. I want to go back to dumb, slow zombies. I don't want fast zombies that like are like underground, like all the weird viney root things. And so it can sense shit from like miles away, however long. This is why I don't garden. So more or less, that's what happened in season 1. Now, a few things one of the things that I really, really liked about season 1 was how it still had its moments where it felt like a video game. And this is coming from someone who hasn't played the game. I'm familiar with video games, but I thought that was, I don't know. I have yet to see a video game based show really do that, where I feel like I'm playing the game or I feel like I'm watching my husband play the game. Especially in season 1, when Joel was working his way through the building, like the hospital or whatever, to quote, rescue Ellie, very, very much felt like a level, like a thing you would have to do in the game. And I absolutely love that, because while it was still the show and it still kept you in that moment, it was just that reminiscent feeling or whatever of playing the video game. And I just really liked it. And I'm really hoping they continue that throughout season 2. And as someone, again, who has not played the game and only knows this world through the television series, I like to go and look at the kind of side-by-sides or whatever of what they did incorporate from the game into the series. And I saw that the dance, like at the end of the episode, where Ellie and Dina first smooch, and then there's like Seth, who's like a piece of shit and who gets fucking torpedoed by Joel, which was amazing, by the way. I loved that. I guess like that whole scene is from the game. And so I watched like the side-by-side of the cut scene to the scene in the series, and very well done. I fucking love that. That kind of felt like something out of the video game when I first watched it, but I wasn't sure if I was like projecting what I wanted to see. Where I was like, oh, is this dance like a cutscene from the video game? Is it going to be very video gamey like? And that was kind of the quick passing thought I had for that. So it's really cool to see that they are carrying that on. And who knows what else in season 2 and in this episode was also taken from the game and redone for the series. But I look forward to going through and looking all of that shit up and watching all them YouTube videos and everything, because it's so much fun. I'm such a dork for that shit. All right. So season 2, it starts off and there's this other like group of young people. They've buried their dead, and the girl is on her revenge journey to find Joel and to kill him. And I just love the line when they were talking about Joel and what he looks like. And one of them's like, oh yeah, and they say he's handsome. Like, I giggled so hard. I was like, because he is so super handsome. And like, I just finished watching Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent the other day, which obviously has Pedro Pascal, and he's just really he's incredibly handsome, but he's very adorable in that movie too, just because of his kind of fanboyness towards Nicolas Cage. He's just so cute. So I love the line, he's very handsome. We all know this. I think we all appreciated that. And I feel like Pedro knows what he's doing when he does like the glam bots, or when he says or does certain things or wears like, he knows he's going to get the internet all up in a tizzy. And for some reason, I kind of feel like maybe that line, oh yeah, they say he's handsome, is just another one of those things to kind of get the internet all in an uproar about how handsome he is. Well, it worked. So it starts there, and they're standing in front of like the little makeshift cemetery that they have for everyone. And there's a lot of dead bodies. And shame on me for not rewatching season 1 before season 2 came out, but it is what it is. But all I could think was when I saw the little cemetery. Can we get a side by side of like Joel's graveyard of all the people he has killed compared to Rick Grimes' graveyard and see whose is bigger? Probably Rick's, although again, not familiar with the game. Maybe Joel does his fair share of like people killing. But Rick Grimes, oh my God, that fucking guy. Anywho, but then we get the time jump 5 years later, and and Joel and Ellie, they're living in that safe compoundy place with his brother, who's married to Retina Wesley, who is Tara in True Blood, who still deserved at least an on-screen death. What the fuck? Spoilers for True Blood. And yeah, so they're living there. Ellie is very gung-ho about being a part of the community. She's being trained in fighting. She doesn't like it when they pull the punches because she wants, I don't know, because she thinks she's just such a tough little badass. And not to say she isn't, but it's like, dude, he's still a grown-ass man, and you're still like 3/4 the size of him. I think he should still pull his punches maybe a little bit. I appreciate and respect her saying, like, don't pull your punches. Like, I respect that she wants to get full on the shit beaten out of her, but you're still a kid. 19, you're still a kid. So, but that was fun. That was a fun little sparring match we got to see. And Ellie has some pretty sweet fucking moves, gotta say. She knows what she's doing. So I like that. I like that, you know, she's training. She got pulled off of like doing runs or recon and was supposed to go and sit up on the wall. And she's like, it's just sitting on a fucking wall. It's like, well, that's still pretty important. I get that it's boring, but she's a little too maybe gung-ho about things. So, but she still didn't do her wall watch. She somehow convinced folks to let her go out on the recon mission or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And more on that in a little bit. So, but then we also have Joel. I love that Joel is in therapy, and I fucking love Catherine O'Hara in this. I love her as the therapist, Gail. It's so fucking perfect. I don't know why. The character Gail, I'm already in love with her, and a lot of that could have to do with it being portrayed by Catherine O'Hara, but I feel like just that character alone is someone that I would have liked regardless of who was playing her. So I love it. I love that Gail was so open and honest with Joel, and that she hates him for him killing her husband. And it kind of acknowledging all of that, acknowledging that she has hate in her heart, but acknowledging that she needs to say it out loud so she can begin to heal. And as a way to more or less kind of bond with Joel, and that she shares something deep and hoping that he shares something deep. A page right out of Ted Lasso, because they did that on Ted Lasso, and I really like that too. So I like that. And this, like, Joel needs a therapist like this. He needs someone that isn't going to sit there and take a shit, who's going to drink on the job, but also like be there. Very much like a tough love kind of scenario without just being too tough. Just tough enough. And Joel hasn't broken yet, but that's all right because it's just the first episode, so it'll come eventually, I'm sure. But very excited to see Catherine O'Hara and what else she brings to this character, Gail. And if they die, and if Gail dies, I'm going to be really, really, really fucking upset. So let's hope that doesn't happen. And if it does happen, if Gail exists in the game and she does die, don't fucking tell me. I'll find that out after whatever episode that might be in. So I don't go looking for video game spoilers until after I watch the episode. Because since I'm not familiar with the game, I am choosing not to have game spoilers. I feel like that can also kind of warp my expectations of what the show will bring, very much like a book versus movie kind of thing, where if you've read the book before you see the movie very rarely beats the book. But, you get, because you're familiar with the book and and you know the plot and the characters, and you're hoping or expecting to see certain scenes play out, and then it doesn't, and it's something else or some sort of weird amalgamation of like several scenes. It's just not the same. And I am wanting to steer clear of that with this series. So, okay. So Catherine O'Hara, love her. So Ellie being like this little tough ass, and I kind of fucking love it, but it's like I get it. She's immune, and she definitely knows it, feels it, and behaves in such a way. I don't like that she's being so reckless. Even though I'm still very mad at Joel, I get it. Like just not having her head out and put herself in harm's way because she can. It's like, yeah, you can still fall through fucking floors, and that's exactly what happened. Like, you might be immune to zombie bites, but you're not immune to like being shot in the face, falling through rotting floor, and anything and everything else. Do you think she catches colds? Anyway, so I'm pretty sure that's just the mom in me. Like, no, don't do that. That's dangerous. Listen to me. Listen to your pseudo dad. But yeah, so Ellie, so it's like, I get it. But again, it's the mom in me. I don't like it. But I do love that at one point, Tommy, her like pseudo uncle or whatever, Joel's brother, was very much like, you and my brother are the same person. They're kind of arguing about whether or not Ellie is going to be up on the fence or whatever. And her line back to him of, if we're the same person, then you're not winning this. I loved it. What a sassy little fucking shit. But she kind of got him. That is a very fair point. And yeah. Good luck, Tommy. And another line that I liked was that, again, her and Tommy, and her line was something like, I don't care if it's easier, it's not fair. And about Tommy was trying to give her advice on how to handle Joel. Like, even though, Joel's making all these demands of her or whatever, and Tommy's like, just go with it. I've been dealing with it my whole life. It's just easier that way. And yeah, her response of, I don't care if it's easier, it's not fair. I love that line. I feel like that is the line, the thought process of many generations. I feel like that is a big part of like millennial life and younger. We don't care if it's fucking easier, if it's not fair. We teach children fairness, right? And sharing and all of that shit from the fucking get-go. And then we just expect them to accept that sometimes you just have to go with what's easier, even if it isn't fair. Like, that's conflicting information. And if you have kids like mine, they're going to call that shit out and they're going to bring up their points, and then you're going to be fucking stuck. Kind of like Tommy in that moment of Ellie being like, you're not winning this. So, but I love that line. I think that it speaks to not just younger generations, but just a lot of people of just because it's easier. It doesn't make it fair, doesn't make it right. So, love it. Yeah, so then they're doing their little reconnaissance and everything, and Ellie and Dina go running off into the building, and that's when Ellie eventually falls through the floor. And this is where she encounters like the smart fungus zombie thing, because as she's kind of walking through this like warehouse or whatever, you see in the background this thing just scampering across stuff and all super silent. And it's just, it was I didn't like it. So of course it means I loved it. But yeah, had me yelling, turn around or just get the fuck out of there. I love shows that are very interactive like that. That was kind of a cool, fun scene in terms of like it being like creepy, scary, a little nerve-wracking, but knowing what we know about Ellie at this point, it was kind of low stakes, her wrestling around with this zombie. And then of course, she gets bit and that's really gross. And then she takes care of it herself by cutting around, and I don't know what else she fucking did. I wasn't sure because she cut in between like the teeth marks to make it look more just like a big circle, which is less obvious than being bit and having teeth marks in your tummy. And I was like, what are people supposed to think that is? Or how she got that? Fell on a pole? I don't know. But she's got to keep that shit a secret because everyone will likely freak out as they have upon first hearing about her little superpower. I mean, that was, even though it was low stakes, I'm not saying it wasn't stressful to watch because you really never know what the fuck is going to happen. Is this because this is a different type of zombie? Because it's smarter? Has this zombie evolved? Is she maybe not as immune to it? How is this bite and her hiding it going to come in play later? I feel like it's gonna. Like, I don't think she's gonna suffer any like side effects from being bit. Like, I don't think she's gonna change, but what if it makes her really sick? What if it gives her the flu? That's what gives her the colds. So we'll see. But she fought her way through and out and up, and her and Dina go scampering off. They meet in front of some council once they get back. And I love the point of, and I didn't write this one down, unfortunately, but like Tommy and like the council kind of calling out Ellie and Dina for just kind of riding off, going off on their own and getting caught up in the building and fighting zombies and everything, and how they Ellie pushed back of like, well, how is that any different than, you and Joel doing that, or like pretty much anybody else? And Tommy's wife was there and she's like, yeah, that's a good question. And basically like they get away with it. They get a slap on the wrist. They have to go apologize to the leader of their little recon group. And more or less that's it, which absolutely 100% was the right decision. Because yeah, how is it any different? Like, sure, they're older. Joel and Tommy are obviously older. They have that experience, but how can you get experience if you don't go out there and get fucking experience? It's like goddamn credit cards and credit reports. How you going to get credit if you ain't got credit? Like, that shit is super fucking dumb. And it's also really fucking dumb that I found out later in life that I am older than credit reports. That's fucking stupid. Anyway, neither here nor there. But now there's like this big community block party and everyone is going to attend because it's like community building, maybe blow off some steam and whatnot. But once they showed like the town kind of done up a little bit for this block party, like they had Christmas lights in the trees and kind of draped around, I got hella Stars Hollow vibes. Like, anyone else? Anyone else think like, oh, look at this. It's like the Tea Light Festival or some bullshit. Where's Taylor? God, could you imagine Taylor Dosey in an apocalypse? Or Kirk? All right. Also neither here nor there. But the little dance party, the little dance was really nice. It was pretty cute. Ellie and Dina have their moment and they do their dancing. They get all smoochy. And we're all just really happy for them, except for this asshole named Seth. And he's like, it's so fucking dumb. He's just like, really? Like, dude, you've got bigger fucking problems than two young ladies necking on the dance floor. Fucking grow up. And then he calls them a derogatory term And right as Ellie goes to confront, which I was kind of looking forward to, I was kind of hoping to see Ellie just rip into Seth, and it's just really curious as to how that was all going to play out. But nope, he is speared by Joel, which was fucking hilarious and probably like the best dad thing he's done in a while. But still not appreciated by Ellie. Ellie is still very, very mad at him. Ellie can tell that he is hiding something, and which makes it hard to like want to trust a person or respect the person. So she was like, don't ever fucking do that again, and more or less lashed out at her pseudo dad, which I can understand. I get that. But yeah, how can like a bigot in the apocalypse? That shit just doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, so I was looking up the soundtrack because at the little dance, they had like a little band playing and little kind of bluegrass band. And I was like, oh my God, is that Alison Krauss? I fucking love Alison Krauss. And I didn't look it up because I was like, I'm going to wait and I'm going to reveal during the recording. And at least you guys get like one live reaction to something with the series. So let me see if I can find that real quick. Please hold. All right. So I found the soundtrack, I think. And yeah, it doesn't look like it is. That's okay. But the gal singing had a very lovely voice and was very Alison Krauss-y, and I liked it. I have a soft spot for bluegrass because I fucking love bluegrass. I kind of think a banjo and like the tiny guitar, like the mandolin, can make almost any song better. All right, and then the episode ends with, because they were doing some digging or whatever, and they found a pipe that had a bunch of what appeared to be dead, inactive, viney things, which I didn't fucking trust. I was like, no, just burn it now. I don't care, because they're like, oh, there's roots like growing into the pipes or whatever. It's like, in that world, don't trust roots, vines, twigs, sticks. I don't give a shit. Don't trust it, because I don't like it. But we see a shot of like some shit squirming around in like that little tube, and then we follow it like across the land, and I don't like it. I really, really don't fucking like that shit. But I absolutely fucking love it because, but, oh, yeah. Because we follow the little viney things across the land, and up on a ridge, we catch back up. We are kind of reunited, I guess, with that first group of the revenge group. I can't remember their names. It's fine. Maybe I'll have it next time. So I like it. It's, shenanigans are going to ensue, and there's going to be conflict, and there's going to be more lies, and people like probably getting shot and stuff. So very excited for this season. Right away, once we saw that group from the opening of the episode, all I could think was like, okay, so now you guys are active refugees. You're going to arrive as active. You guys are refugees, and you're going to arrive as refugees, because there was that whole conversation that Joel and Tara had. I don't know the character's name. I'm sorry. About there not being enough space, enough resources to keep taking people in. Tara's very much like, no, we need to keep bringing people in. You were once a refugee, blah, blah, blah. Joel was like, I don't know. We got to take care of our own first, and this and that. So you just kind of know that this group is going to show up. Joel is going to begrudgingly go with letting them in, and then they're going to get close to Joel and, try and enact their revenge and kill him slowly like she wanted to do. And it's like, I get you want your revenge. I get that you're mad, and I get that you want to kill him. And like, that's fine and understandable and everything. But once she was like, she wants to like kill him slowly, I was like, that's a little overboard. That's a little uncalled for. Get your revenge, sure, but let's not take it too far. Anyway, I am looking forward to the chaos that ensues when that group probably eventually gets into their little safe space, compoundy place. Very much looking forward to more Gale, more Catherine O'Hara. Looking forward to really just everything about this season. I'm not looking forward to more of those zombies because ew. But I also am very much looking forward to more of those zombies because ew. Yeah. Pretty decent season premiere. I guess, oh my God. I guess that's it. I guess this is kind of a short one. Hey, look at that, you guys. Ooh, look at me go. All right. So, yeah, I don't think I've got anything other than that. Those were just pretty much real quick notes that I had jotted down that I wanted to make sure I brought up. And I'm sure I'm missing all the things. But if anyone is ever interested in covering the whole series, and especially if you've played the game and you want to be on the podcast, let me know. Go ahead and send an email to mystreamingbubble@gmail.com. And while you're on the old internets there, make sure that you're following My Streaming Bubble on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Just search My Streaming Bubble and I should pop on up for you. And then don't forget to listen, rate, review, and share this podcast from a podcast player near you. And, of course, don't forget the monthly podcast that I co-host with Aaron from It's a Fandom Thing called Twin It to Win It. And that's where we test our twinningness by guessing how the other feels about different movies. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky just by searching Twin It to Win It podcast. And, of course, listen, rate, review, and share from most podcast players. So that's going to do it for me today, Bubblies. Thank you all so much for listening, and keep streaming. Bye. If you're enjoying the podcast, here are a few ways to show your continued support, like rating and reviewing on a podcast player near you, and sharing your favorite episodes with your friends, family, and mail carrier. If you're looking for merch, then stop by my Redbubble store where you can find and buy My Streaming Bubble stickers, hats, shirts, and more. You can also find me over at buymeacoffee.com and, well, buy me a coffee. Thank you for your continued support, and keep streaming. Bye!